Welcome back, YouTube. It's your boy Boomsday back with another how-to video. And today we're going to be reconing a pair of mid-range speakers today. Now, if you're familiar with the channel, I've done tons of subs and stuff like that, but I haven't done a mid-range video. So I figured, hey, why not? Got a great opportunity here, and that's what we're going to do today. So today we have a pair of PRV Alto MR1000As, okay? They're for a customer, so I'm going to go ahead and recone them. The process is very similar to a subwoofer, but it's just a small difference. But we're gonna walk you through step by step on how to do that here today. And let's go ahead and dive right in, all right? Let's go. Before we dive in, we always wanna make sure we have the proper equipment and tools needed to get this job done, okay? So first things first is you're gonna need a very sharp blade. So I recommend going to the store and getting a pack of them. They're very cheap, get a couple of them, and it'll make removing the soft parts a whole lot easier, okay? So first thing you're gonna wanna do is cut out all the old stuff, all right? So all you would do is just place the blade on the outer edge of the surround, okay? And just go around. It's very easy to cut out. These speakers aren't like a subwoofer that has tons of spiders and many layers on the cones and everything. They're generally just paper, okay? All right, so once you've got it cut, it's easier for me to cut back along the inside by the dust cap to remove all the rest of it. And that's out. Now, we're gonna cut around the spider landing to remove the spider. So you just put it right in and go around. And you can go ahead and cut your leads as well if you'd like. This is a very big coil on this mid right here. Very loud mid-range. Very loud. All right, and you can see the damage there. Coil rub on it. All right. So we're gonna go ahead and cover up the gap next, all right? Let me grab the tape. After we've removed all of our soft parts, it's time to tape up our gap, okay? That way when we clean our basket, none of the debris falls in there. All right. So first thing we're gonna do is get some masking tape and cover it up. And when I say gap, what I mean is this little skinny part right there that the coil fits in. So the part where you remove the coil from, you see how it fits back in there? You take that out, and now you want to tape that up, just like so. All right. After you've taped up your gap, now it's safely time to remove the rest of your soft part, okay? All right. So with this, a blade definitely is what you're gonna need. You're gonna cut around the basket to remove the old foam, okay? So just like so. Put it in and just go around. Very easy. Right underneath it. There it is. It should come right up. All right. So after you've got the old stuff pretty much cleaned off, the next step you're going to want to do is take a grinder, a wire wheel of some sort of grinding device and get all the rest of that stuff up, okay? All the extra stuff that you really couldn't get up with the blade, this is the time now to use it, okay? What I use is just one of these little Harbor Freight grinders and a 60 grit flapper disc. It works well for me. There's tons of other things you can use, but this is what I use, okay? Also, anytime you're dealing with CA glue or any kind of adhesives, when it gets hot, they do produce smells that can be very dangerous. So make sure you wear the proper equipment. So like goggles and a respirator or a mask or something like that. And also do it in a well-ventilated area, okay? You don't want to be breathing this stuff in. It will mess you up, all right? So let's get to grinding. Okay, not all mids are the same. This is type though that does have solder here. So for me, it's easier to desolder it and then resolder the new connection after I get it down than it would be for me to take this whole assembly apart, okay? So if you have a soldering iron or this type of speaker, for me, it's easier if you do it this way, all right? So it's time to desolder. All right, so now after you got it all cleaned and prepped, the next step you're gonna wanna do is remove your tape from your gap, okay? Go ahead and take that off. And make sure nothing fell in there during the cleaning process. Just like you would do on a subwoofer. All right. Gap looks fairly clean to me. I don't see anything on it. All right. So when it's time to shim something like this, generally with the subwoofer, you use like a bigger shim like this. It's just wild because this is a 3-inch shim and this is a 3-inch gap. It doesn't fit. So you need something a lot thinner than this, okay? And honestly, over the years, what I've used is I've just taken the instruction manuals out of these little boxes that come with the drop-ins, and I just cut it up, man. So just take it. If you need any information, sure, take a picture of it or something. But it's honestly close enough on the thickness that it works perfectly good, okay? Or perfectly fine. So what I do, I just take it, put it in the gap like so, wrap it around, make sure it's all the way at the bottom, nice and even. Do the same thing on this side, wrap it around, make sure it's nice and even, just like so. All right, and now the drop in, you should just, it slides right over the top of the paper. So you kind of see it there. It's gonna, all of it's gonna go in like that, and it's gonna slide down, okay? Kind of hard to do with one hand, so I set you guys back down. Pick that like that. You see? And it slides down just like so. All the way even. Obviously, let me move the leads out the way. But just like that. And it still moves and rotates, so you still got a little play in it. So yeah, just the instruction manual, cut it in half, make sure it's not frayed or rolled. That you use that as a shim on one of these, okay? All right. So after you have your shim situated, now it's time to place your glue. And again, I just use this stuff right here off eBay. I'll put a link in the description below. Same thing with the activator. You get your 2 products ready, and you're just gonna lay a nice bead down on the spider landing, as well as the contact area where the surround is gonna land, okay? All right, so just right there on the shiny part. And you don't have to go crazy with it. Just a nice liberal band of it. It'll get you where you need to be. Putting a whole lot of glue ain't gonna make it hold no stronger. It's only gonna grab where it grabs, so. Now traditionally on a subwoofer, you do the surround like after the fact, or I do. I fold it up and do it. But again, on such a small speaker like this, it's almost like a real compact, and the surround doesn't fold. So you have to push it all down as one piece, all right? So get everything prepped with your glue. You take your drop in like so. Make sure there's no debris, nothing on the coil. Everything looks good. Yep. Make sure nothing fell as you're moving stuff. Nothing got in there, all right? And you just place it down. Be sure to get everything lined up like that, and get these leads out the way. I want to get it in the glue. I'm gonna cut these down there a little long, and get it nice and seated. And kind of push down in the middle, as well as go underneath and go around. I'll show you. Go around, and make sure that the spider is contacting the glue all the way around. It's kind of hard to see because it's such a small area in there, but you want it to contact right there, okay? So make sure it presses down in there really good. All right. All right. So after you got it down with the glue, time to close pin it down. All right. Speed through the video. after everything's dry, the next step is going to be to go ahead and place your gasket material around your basket, okay? It's pre-cut generally, so all you got to do is find your holes, line it up, put a bead of glue around it, and it'll drop on in and dry, okay? So that's the next step. And like I said, just take it, line it up, and set it right on down. I like to kind of push it into place to make sure you're getting nice and seated. Like that. Alright, take the next one, do the same thing. These butts right up to it, like almost like Legos. You put it in there like that. Like that. Get it in there nice and tight. And that's cool if it squirts out. It's not gonna hurt nothing. Alright, and then last piece. Just like so. Alright. Now, on this, you can clamp if you like. I generally do, just to make sure it gets seated. Now, I will say if you use those really high tension clamps, you can leave little marks in your foam. They'll kind of come out over time, but I've seen them, people put them on so tight that they never come out, and you'll have just like an indentation on your gasket material. So what I like to do, I kind of push it in with my hands a couple times. Because again, it's already glued. The surround itself is already glued down. So what I like to do is kind of take it, put a little pressure, and then hit it. Like that. So I put pressure down like right there, where I see the glue kind of still wet and moist. Hit it right in there, with pressure still applied. Wait about 10 to 15 seconds, then I'll remove the pressure. And I'm gonna do this all the way around each one of these holes. And to me, it's just a better alternative than, like I said, leaving those marks on the gasket. So just push that on in. All right. So after you've got everything down, you've got your gasket material back down, drop ins nice and tight. You've already checked to make sure everything's good. It's time to go ahead and put your dust cap on. Now, on these dust caps, unlike traditional dust caps where you want to scuff up the edges, you can still scuff up the edges, but as you can see, there's not much edge there. So with these, you're going to have to overlap a little bit with the glue on the outside of the dust cap to kind of hold it down, okay? So just like a traditional dust cap situation, you put it down, and PRV is pretty cool. They put a line on it just like other brands. They do the same thing, so you know exactly where to put the dust cap. But there's a line right there. So you just kind of set it in the line, so you know where you're going to put it at. Take a piece of masking tape, roll it up on top of itself. That way you can move it as you please. Take it down. Take your glue and just follow your line. As you can see right there. There's a line right there. Like it's drawn like a pencil. You just put your bead of glue right on the inside of it. So not this side of it, on this side of it. Okay? Put your bead of glue, put your dust cap down, spray with Activator, alright? So So after you've got it all around, now as you got it all around, take your dust cap and just place it on that line. Apply a little pressure. While you still have pressure applied, take your glue, your activator, and activate. And like I said, since it's a flat dust cap, you're gonna have to go back around the inside with another bead of glue anyway to make it like almost sandwich in between so it sticks down nice and tight. If you ever look at them straight from the factory, that's exactly what they look like. They use a whole lot of the clear CA glue on it and it's kind of sandwich it in. So that's what we're gonna do. Just make sure it's down pretty snug. Let them come off. And there's one. Just let her down.